The gentleman from Oklahoma, Mr. Lucas, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Secretary Yellen, I'd like to discuss with you today a significant concern for me. The U.S. economy is facing significant challenges. We're coming off the heels of a global pandemic that we're still studying the effects of. The U.S. economy is also experiencing supply chain backlogs and inflation at a 40-year high, and the Russian invasion of Ukraine exacerbates economic uncertainty. In Oklahoma, small businesses, farmers, ranchers are navigating surging gas prices and volatile agricultural markets for inputs like grain and fertilizer. In these uncertain times, investors seek to protect their retirement savings, to hedge risk, and of course safeguard their businesses. As I'm sure you can appreciate, providing liquid markets to protect the U.S. economy in the face of substantial headwinds should be a priority. Unfortunately, I'm concerned about the volume and significance of rulemaking proposals coming out of the Securities and Exchange Commission in such a short amount of time runs counter to this goal. Since November, the SEC has proposed over 20 new major far-reaching rule changes. These rules impact every asset class under the SEC's jurisdiction. The sheer amount and complexity of these rulemakings, compounded with the short and simultaneous comment periods, and I note that short and in many cases simultaneous comment periods, could negatively impact markets and the public that depends on them. It's important for Congress to be able to fully understand the impact and potential unintended consequences of the SEC sweeping new proposals. So here's my question, Secretary. Can you speak to the importance of market liquidity during times of massive economic uncertainty?
Well, certainly having liquid markets is extremely important to businesses and consumers to be able to engage in financial and hedging transactions that they count on to deal with risk. So I certainly agree with the idea that that should be and is an important priority.
And I realize you're not on the SEC, but the current approach, I worry, could rattle markets by rolling out extensive proposals during a time when strong capital markets are just essential to our constituents, economic growth, and national security. Second question, Secretary. News reports suggest the administration is preparing to impose a new round of sanctions on Russia following recent atrocities, including two of Russia's largest financial institutions. The European Union is also said to be preparing new sanctions. In your discussions with your international counterparts, could you speak to the urgency in which the EU plans to intensify Russian sanctions, particularly focusing on a ban on Russian coal, oil, and natural gas exports?
I think our partners are outraged by the atrocities that are being committed in Russia, as we are, and we are working very actively with them to impose new sanctions that will cause Russia significant pain. This morning, we announced our own sanctions package that will now fully block Russia's largest bank, Sberbank, from participating in the U.S. financial system, as well as their largest private bank, Alpha Bank. The president will sign a new executive order prohibiting new investment in Russia by all U.S. persons, and additional sanctions have been placed on elites and some state-owned enterprises. And Europe is also working at a rapid pace to announce additional sanctions. I'm not going to try to tell you exactly what they are, but they certainly intend to add to the sanctions they have in place.
Absolutely, Secretary, but you don't see a reluctance on their part to target Russian energy exports, do you, or change in that reluctance?
They recognize clearly the importance of depriving Russia of export revenue to the maximum extent that they possibly can, but regrettably have dependence on oil and natural gas. So there are trade-offs there that they're trying to manage as best they can.
With that, Madam Chair, I yield back the balance of my time.
Thank you.